KSI vs. Dillon Danis. On January 14th, the YouTube celebrity and boxer KSI will make his return to the ring to compete against the undefeated mixed martial arts fighter, Dillon Danis. Will this be another win for KSI, or will Danis emerge from the ring victorious? Stay tuned to find out. Dillon Danis was widely considered one of the world's most exciting grapplers at one point in time. As the owner of a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt awarded to him by the legendary Marcelo Garcia, Jefe was a high-potential prospect. The world of combat grappling awaited his ascension with bated breath. After winning the IBJJF Pan Jiu-Jitsu No-Gi Championship, it looked like nothing could stop him from achieving even greater success. However, the accomplished grappler decided to pursue a career in MMA rather than continuing training in BJJ. After joining SGB Ireland, he quickly rose through the ranks to become one of UFC superstar Conor McGregor's most important sparring partners. In spite of securing a contract with Bellator, Danis was only able to compete twice before a knee injury forced him out of the sport. The unbeaten mixed martial artist will make his return, but this time it'll be in the ring to compete against KSI in a boxing match. But does he possess the skills necessary to triumph against the YouTuber? Let's find out. Punching power. Dillon Danis has never faced an opponent with the powerful punching power like KSI. Danis is not accustomed to having punches thrown directly at his face. This was made very clear by the inept defensive response he had after being punched by Kyle Walker in his very first MMA fight. He stiffened up and retreated. If Danis briefly freezes whenever he's hit by lesser punches than KSI, the situation could soon turn problematic against the British boxer. KSI has innate knockout power, which will only be amplified by how poorly Danis responds to being hit. While Danis occasionally makes an effort to keep his hand back, tucked near to his chin, he never moves his head off the center line. In addition to that, he always keeps his chin high. With this, he'll be exposed to the power punches of a much heavier and more powerful foe with better striking. Difference in size. The disparity in the size of the two fighters is another consideration that must be taken into account. Dillon Danis is a lot smaller in size compared to KSI. Despite the fact that the student of Marcelo Garcia is an inch taller than his opponent, KSI has a reach advantage of 4 inches over him. In addition, the disparity in weight is just astonishing. The former YouTuber, who is now competing in boxing, has a physique that is noticeably thicker and wider than that of his opponent. The manner by which KSI outweighs Dillon Danis is significant as he fights at cruiserweight. This means that the British boxer usually cuts down to 180 pounds, whereas Jefe has spent much of his career as a welterweight. Such a large difference in weight does not bode well for the BJJ black belt. Because of this, there is a possibility that Danis will not have sufficient punching strength to damage his opponent, because there will be a small transfer of weight into his punches. KSI might be able to easily stroll his opponent down and corner him against the ropes if he has this advantage. The British boxer will certainly swarm his opponent since nothing can stop him from simply marching him down. Offensive strikes. It will be necessary for Danis to work on his attacking strikes in order for him to be successful against KSI. Because Dillon Danis engages in offensive striking, he puts himself in danger of being struck. The first bout with Dillon Danis had under the Bellator banner provided the audience with the best opportunity to observe Danis' offensive striking. The grappler, who used to compete in the IBJJF, employs a broad, bladed stance, quite similar to Conor McGregor's stance. As a result, Jefe is able to quickly move in and out of range thanks to this ability. However, during the fight, his aggressive striking was completely ineffective. It appears that he is afraid to get into punching range and throw any of his punches because he does not want to get struck. It caused him to take half-hearted strides forward, while leaning his upper body away when he delivered punches during his first MMA battle. Unfortunately, doing so exposed him to an overhand left. When he extends his arm for a punch, he doesn't raise his shoulder in order to partially protect his chin with his shoulder. Instead, he moves away from the target while jabbing. Although this strategy could work against a competitor who is shorter than you, KSI has a reach advantage of 4 inches over Danis. In addition to his reach being a disadvantage, El Jefe can also be timed every time he tries to enter a range. He has an obvious tell of half leaning away for fear of getting hit. KSI will undoubtedly take notice of these gaps in Danis' striking skills. Experience. When it comes to experience in the boxing ring, KSI has the upper hand as well. The unfortunate truth of the matter is that Dillon Danis has never engaged in a fight with another person where striking was involved. His MMA fights were over in less than 2 minutes, and he won them via submission. Even though he has a lot of expertise as a no-gi grappler, that has nothing to do with boxing. Boxing is a completely different sport. It is possible that sparring with Conor McGregor during his time away from MMA helped him improve his hitting, but that alone won't be enough. It's not the same thing to engage in sparring to improve one's skill set as it is to go up against an opponent trying to knock one unconscious. Dillon Danis has absolutely no prior experience competing against opponents of this caliber. Even if the YouTuber's previous opponents haven't exactly been of the highest caliber, he has at least one boxing match under his belt. KSI's weakness. KSI's boxing strategy contains a number of severe weaknesses, despite the fact that he's never been defeated. One of the primary factors preventing him from being great is his low IQ while fighting in the ring. Another problem for KSI is that he has a weak defense, and because of this, he has received a lot of criticism. In general, he has employed footwork that is not very good. In order to go around the ring effectively, one must be quick and fluid. The YouTuber lacks in both of these areas, which is unfortunate. Due to his terrible footwork, he received a significant number of blows in his previous bouts, yet he emerged victorious in the end. If Danis is able to take advantage of this hole in KSI's defense, then he may end up winning the match. Now, over to you. Who do you think will win the fight between KSI and Danis? Let us know in the comments section down below. That'll be all for today's video. Thanks for staying tuned. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you can always get to watch more amazing videos like this. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.